Hello friends, today we are going to make something cool. We are going to remake a website from a famous brand. It is apple.com. We are going to learn many things through this video about CSS, HTML, and before we continue, why don't you click that subscribe button and hit the like button in this video. Okay, let's try to see what Apple website looks like. Okay, let's see. So they have something very slick design. They have a I would say a simple layout, and it's very attracting. Okay, I think we're going to go navigation. What do I say? This is a segment. It is quite simple, and let's move on. So let's open our text editor. We're going to create our folder first, and this will be 2020 11/20 April. And okay, let's create our first file called index.html, and we're going to use a code snippet, and make sure we're going to name this website Apple. And as we can see, I have a plugin called live server. I have a plugin called live server. I guess that's the name. It's for helping me to launch the website. There you go. This is a blank website, and why don't we try to create a hello world. There you go. It's auto refreshing. If you are in Visual Studio Code, you can download the extension here, live server. It's called by Day. Okay, let's learn about CSS. CSS is you can start styling your website by simply add the style tag here. And if I want to target this h1 tag, I will just say h1, and there is so much options here. As you can see, there's a font size, and why don't we try to modify it to 42 px. There you go, it's auto refreshing 60 px. Okay, interesting, right? And though I would say we can use h1 is quite general, and we really want to avoid that kind of behavior. We can simply add an ID called main title, and we can change this to main title. For ID, you will use a hash icon. For the class, you want to use a main. There's also a class here, main. Let's just say main title, and you want to use it like a main title. You will use dot for selecting the class, and ID is using the hash icon. The difference between both is that ID is specifically for one element. So if I want to create another element and I want to put it an ID, I cannot use the same name, as it will confuse the web, confuse the browser. But I can use the name as a class. You can use class in other elements too. And for that, let's continue. Okay, let's see. Apple.com. They have a quite, I would say, quite good design. They have a great design, I have to admit. Okay, let's see. They have a center text, and let's just build that. Main title. Uh, we're focusing on the layout first. So before I tell you that we often use div, and we can also change the name to section if you want to. It's the same. It's the same function. Okay, class full width section. And let's see how many sections they have. 1, 2, 3. 3 section has a full width, and the other has a half width section. Okay, no problem. Let's create this 3, and the other is half width. Half width section. There is a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, come to think about it, I think Apple has done a really good job in maintaining the design. Okay, let's see what can we see. The component, you see, every section the Apple has, they have center title, center subheading, center paragraph, and a button if there is. See, there is a kind of pattern you see here, though this may not have a subheading, an icon, but generally the pattern applies. So let's just make that. They have a subheading. We can call it h2 for the main heading. I don't use s1. It's simply because s1 in later, if you want to push it, if you want to put it online, s1 useful for SEO purpose. You kind of have the main title of the web. Google use it h1 to kind of indexing later on with their Google bot. But for this video, I don't really concentrate on that part. It has it has a whole other material we will cover later on. Let's try iPhone 12 Pro. And for the subheading, we will use probably h4. It's live year, and the paragraph from $.162 month or 999 before trade in. And you see there is a 1. We're going to that later. This is optional. You can to make this. Okay, why don't we try to see our web version? Okay, if we want to create this kind of brick line, we can not simply just typing like this. I want to give it an enter, buy directly from Apple with special career offers. It doesn't, we cannot do this, as it will only, yeah, nothing really special. There are other ways we can do this. We can simply add a tag called brick line. It is for bricking. As you can see, it gives a brick. And the other way, which is I prefer, is to create another p tag like that. So let me format this. Okay, and it is still the same, though it gives some margin here. You may not see it right now, but if I inspect the element, this is our code. We can do this by inspect element in Safari. In Chrome, it should have their shortcut too, or you just right click on the window, and let's see. You see there is an orange and the blue part. If you use a brick line, we don't really have, as it really just put it down. The text is down really, and there is no margin. But if I use P, it gives some margin, and which is really what I want. Uh, as I can modify the margin later in the CSS, so I don't really care about that now. And you may know there's also a, and later we'll see the Apple also gives the image tag. Right now I don't really want to put anything. Let's say this is the iPhone. Okay, okay, let's give the placeholder one. I usually, to give a placeholder image, I go to Unsplash, and there is so many good image here you can use to kickstart your website. I happen to like this website too, and I want to tell that this is also, I usually do this, copy image address, and I put the source here, and for that part, to give the credit also to the author. Usually they have something like this. I copy the editor. Thanks Tom Bradley, the photo is good, and there you go. We're going to later properly style this. Okay, okay, let's move on. The other full width section, also the other two, and we will going to just copy paste this. There you go, and there we have the three types of. So let's try to style this first. Okay, what can we see right now? They have, the first section is having a black background. We get that. Okay, let's go to the full width section, and let's just color it width 100%, and we see that all of the text is text aligned, centered. So let's just add that center, and there you go. All of the text is centered. Um, and also, why don't we add a background color black? Okay, the text is not appearing, and that's an issue. We can use the color. So the difference between background color and color is that background color you are going to color the whole background, whereas the color is for the text. And there you go. I just control shifts and it really auto refreshing for me. This extension is so good. Get one if you can. But there is the problem here that as you see it right now, not all section has a black background, and as if you pay attention more, the background is quite different. There's a kind of divider here. If we select this, there's a white background here, and it's a bit of grayish, and so actually the background here in the body background has a kind of by the way, this is what we call inline style. If you're quite confused, don't worry. Let's just use here. I want to style so the body, I want to target the body, as the body is only one element in every HTML. I want the body to have a background color as white. So here, full width section, this first section is consists of black. The other two is has a bit of white grayish, and to add that, I'm going to add another class. Add it as a bg color bg gray 100, and so I can bg gray. Bg stands for background and let's just say it's going to be a hash EEE. Okay, well, and the text is quite different now. We have an issue here. The text need to be, this is already good, but the other not. And for that, we can also add this. Okay, I think we can remove the color here, and this one doesn't appear. We can add another class for the first section, and we call it text white. Text white is to give the color as white. There you go. Okay, looks promising. We are one step to mimicking the Apple website, where this project is for learning. And okay, as you can see, there is a space between the top and the top text, and right now we don't really have the space. And to do that, I usually have a recommendation. We can do this simply in HTML by adding a break line here, and that really solves a problem. But in many cases, you want to use a div, and I usually use inline style here, and I'm going to add a margin. Let's say 1 rem. 1 rem is kind of 1 rem may create something like 16 pixel or 20 pixel depending on your font size defined in the web. Usually it's the font size is 16 px, so I think we're going to use padding for this. There you go, we've got a space. Okay, if you are wondering what is padding, what is margin, padding is, let's create an inspect element here. So padding is what the green shows it, and margin is the yellow element. So to better understand this, it's quite, there is, in the, whether you are in Chrome or Safari, there is a dictionary called box model, and this is the difference between padding and margin and border. Later on, we're not going to learn that now, but what you just need to know that this is the way to add padding. And let's just add that to the other sections, and let's see. Okay, cool. And if you realize there's a in between space here, kind of a divider, and as you can guess, that is also because of this margin. So let's just do that, shall we? And we can do that by, in between the section, I'm going to add this. There you go. Probably that's too wide, and I would just say 0.5. I think that's enough. The other two. Okay, cool. I think it's very satisfying to my eyes for now. And as you can realize, the image is kind of overflow to the right, and to fix that, I usually use CSS called style width 100%. Okay, it's not yet, and that's because I'm going to use display block. And okay, still not working. Okay, what can we do now? The other way around, I could simply use wait. Okay, I forgot, this is for the last picture. I forgot it is not editing the right, and I want to, can we remove just this? Okay, with 100% only fix the issue here, and we can simply just copy paste this, and the image is kind of fix itself. And you see the apple doesn't really have this, and to do that, I want to kind of borrow a CSS code from normalized CSS. Mac browser renders all elements once more. It's normalized CSS exists, by the way, to kind of normalize between browsers, between Firefox, between Chrome, between Safari, and you see every browser renders CSS differently, and that's quite an issue for us web developer. So to handle that, we can, I want to first, let's see this one. They kind of have a really good, so I will just copy paste this, and I'm going to add this as a different file called normalize.css, and I just copy paste this. And to include the CSS file, I can use a link, raw style sheet. Don't forget, for me the text editor autocompletes it, and I want to add it as a normalized CSS. I use dot slash normalized CSS as it is in the same folder, in the same level of path. So let's just move on. Okay, you see, do you realize that there is no border anymore? And that is a good thing. I like it. I like it. So let's go again. We have to somehow, the first section doesn't really as wide as this, and that's because our image is so big. So why don't we try to edit our image? Let's make the height 300 pixels, and let's see. Okay, the image is quite ugly right now, but I think the width is the same, right? And how to prevent this one? I think the height is okay, but the image needs to be proportional, and to achieve that, we can use object fit and cover. There you go. We have a nice looking cut image here, and you see there's a background here. I think it's from the image, and let's try to learn it. Okay, it's a background, I think, and okay, I have to admit they are really good with this. Okay, okay, we forgot to add a button here, and let's shall we add the button. I think it's not a button, but it's an a tag. A tag is for hyperlink. So if I click here, I'm going to be hyperlinked to a page called iPhone 12 Pro. You can see it right bottom left on my screen. For now, I'm going to just use hash learn more, and there's, I forgot, I cannot use this icon, by the way, as it will gives well, I think there's a way to escape this character, and that's called HTML escape character. There it is and let's just copy this greater than sign. There you go, and let's see, it still gives the same icon. And there's also another button called buy. Woo! One step further. Now, as you can guess, the text here is not really white, but we are white. We can make this a gray thing, and the same with text white here. We want to add a class called text gray is. We can simply I think it's has a and let's add this as a class text grid is 2. Okay, it's not really working. Why? I don't really get it too. Okay, I think we are we add the wrong one. Okay, here, and see it's gray. I think the Apple one is more grayish again. Let's 999. Okay, I think that suits. And by the way, let's change the font style. I usually go to fonts.google.com. Fonts.google.com has a various type of font you can find in the web, and it's open source, meaning every font you can use it for commercially or for your personal projects. You can read more about the license here. I want to encourage you to use it for a fair use. So if you really like, you may want to give it support. I'm going to use Apple has their font called Helvetica. If we want to see this, okay, they use SF Pro text here, Helvetica. Though we don't really want that because the font is licensed. By the way, I may want to find the alternative, and I think Roboto quite suits our need, and we can. Okay, I don't really want to download the family. We can use the thin one. Okay. Add more style. I don't think I really want the all styles though. Okay, just for the sake of the development part, I'm going to copy this and I'm going to just paste it here, and you see, okay, it's good. And I want to apply the CSS rules, and by that I can plug it in the body. Oh, I forgot the body has their own. I'm going to remove this as it is not required anymore. We have the normalized CSS, so I don't really need that anymore. We can use the font family, and let's see. Okay, the font is changing if you recognize it, and I think it misses a part where the font should be bigger, right? And to do that, we can create a CSS called full with section, and I want to target the h1 tag. We can say the font size is 20 pixels. How about that? Okay, it's not really changing. 42 pixels, not really changing. What happened? Okay, it's not really h2, it's h2. Okay, the font size is changing, and I think it should be more. I want to use RAM here, not pixel, as pixels kind of make the website doesn't really responsive at all. So I prefer to use RAM at all costs if possible. Okay, again 3 RAM, we crank it up. Okay, I think the font is the same, right? And for the H4, I think it's 1 RAM is okay. Let's do 1.5, a bit more, 1.8. Yeah, I think it's the same. And if you realize, the font here has to be kind of a light version of the heading, and to do that we can use the font width, sorry, and there's an option here. I will choose a 400. Let's just see. Okay, I think that's really good. I want to try it in 300. Okay, it better suits to me. And as you realize, it's too spacey here. That's because the margin here, uh, the H2 margin, and I want to kind of zero rem, and okay, not really working. Padding zero rem. It's kind of experimenting here. I also kind of experimenting here, and the H2 has a big margin, as you can see, and I want to nullify that. Zero. Okay. Zero, and for the H4 to 0. Okay, and I want to add a margin though here. I want to style it here, and I can just copy paste here for the other one. 0.2 looks nice to me. And let's see. Okay, I think it's good. It's good. I like it. I really like it. By the way, the P1 also quite not really good in my eyes. They have a big space margin, and let's just edit that. I think the font size is good. I think I just crank it up here. 0.5 rem. How about that? 0.2 rem. 0.3, I think. Oh, by the way, if you don't really want to use 0, you can just point like this, and it really works though. Okay, I think this looks nice, and to do that, I'm just the same. I'm going to use this. Oh, okay, sorry, I don't really mean this one, and copy paste to the other. Let's see. Okay, it looks nice to me. The font is quite good. The font is quite good. I like it. I like it. Oh, by the way, the other section has a button also, and we're going to style it. Here. Trade in. There's a typo here. Trade in. Trade in. There you go. We have a kind of similar look to the Apple one. Okay, I think we need to add a margin in after the button, before and after the button, and we can just copy paste this again. Yeah, looks nice. Okay, this one too. Okay, I think the margin doesn't really add up, so we're going to add this to 1H rem. Let's see how that goes. Okay, too much. So this kind of CSS thing really needs to, you have to find kind of the balance. And okay, I think we're almost done with this. Okay, for now I think it looks good. It does the job. However, if you realize, the hyperlink only underlines the text when the text is hovering the when our cursor is hovering the text, right? So to do that, we can simply modify the full width section. I think it is for globally the, so I'm just going to use this. So I'm going to text decoration to none. Text decoration is responsible for the hyperlink, and there you go. It disappeared the underline, but we want to add the hover state, and to achieve that we can simply write like this: text decoration underline. So there you go, we have a nice looking, and you see it's kind of weird, right? The A tag is kind of side by side with no space in between. However, the Apple one is there's a space between, and to make that, I'm going to make this A to display inline block, and you will understand why, because before, if I want to add margin here, I cannot add it, and you see, okay, there's we can add margin there. I think that's because, okay, I'm sorry, I'm going to revise. I usually, to add that, I'm going to inline block. Inline block enables me to kind of add the margin, the padding. Well, if I remove this, I comment the code here, there's a difference, right? You see the space. So okay, I'm going to keep it this way as it is the good practice one. Okay, I think the space becomes more good, better the way I see it. So I'm going to keep it this way. I'm going to enlarge the font size to 1 rem. How about that? Nothing. 3 rem. Too much. 2 rem. 1.5. I think this one looks good for me. We change the color to a bit more bluish, and to do that I'm going to inspect this element to see he uses RGB, and we can copy this to RGB 0. Okay, okay, nice, nice. I love it, I love it. I think it's going to be F4, F4, F4. Okay, wrong one. Okay, okay. Looks nice to me. Looks nice. We're a bit there. Although I want to see if there's a margin here to 0. I wonder why is this appearing. There's a kind of a strip black there, and I'm going to inspect the elements, and the problem may not be in the image itself. The image is fine. Why that happens, I don't really know. I'm going to share with you later, but I think it's not really important for now. Okay, so why don't we really, is it good, isn't it nice if we can add a gradient here for the black section? And to do that, I'm going to use a gradient, CSS gradient, and I usually just Google the CSS gradient on top of image. Okay, I'm going to share with you. I'm not going to use image tag. I'm going to use it as a background image, and to achieve that I'm going to use a div, and I'm going to style it, and I'm going to use a background image here, URL, and the URL here. Okay, I think we will need to delete this first. We're going to set the height to 300 pixels and width 100%. And there's also a called background size cover. It is the same as an object fit cover. Okay, the image offsets wrong, ugly. It's ugly, and to do that, I'm going to background. I forgot background position to center. Okay, looks the same, right? And today, and also we're going to add a background, a gradient, though we can say. We want to linear gradient. Okay. Let's see how it appears. Okay, okay, it's nice, right? Nice. I love it. I'm going to make this 25, 25, 25. Okay, it's 0. I want to target it to black. 0, 0, and this is 0 2. The same with the others. 0, but this is 1. There's a for argument here, as you can see. There's a 0, first 0, second 0, third 0. The last 0 is for opacity. So you there see, this is the opacity, and the other is for the color. Okay. Ooh, I love it. I think I'm going to set this at the 50%. Okay, this is wrong. To bottom. Background CSS generator. Let's see. It's loading. There is. We want to somehow get a gradient not in the end to end, but we somehow want to specify the length of the gradient, and to achieve that we can simply use this. I don't really need this 0 2, but the other one is 0 with low opacity. Okay, the percent is here. Okay, let's see. Okay, still the same, I think. Okay, it's 90 degrees. I'm going to change this to 100 degrees to see which the direction points to. Okay, it looks nice to me. I think 0 is fine for me. 0 dig. There you go. Looks okay to me. Let's change the length to 50%. Okay, it's quite worth to. I think what I'm going to change is this one, the first one. Ah, looks nice, looks nice. I love it, I love it. There you go. Okay, the by should be capitalized. And let's, okay, I think we're good until now. We're going to change the I think this one really suits nice. If you ask my opinion, it has a black one. Why don't we copy image addresses, and let's sync this to this, and let's see. Oh wow, I really like it. It's kind it literally mimics the Apple one, though they it's too full width, I think. And to do that, why don't we just set the width to 50% and see. Okay, we just have to kind of center to this, right? And to do that, I'm going to use div style margin 0 auto. There you go, it's centered. Okay, I love this one, really good, really I love it. And the other one, let's also change this to not an EMG but a div. Okay, I need to cut paste this first. Okay. Background image URL. Okay, don't forget to make width 100% and the height to 10 rem, I think. 5 rem. How about that? Still. Why? 3 rem. Okay, to I think 10 rem is enough. No, 50. No, 25 rem. Okay, I think the different frame is good. I'm going to copy paste this one for the latest section, and I'm going to background position center. This one too. Okay, looks nice. Looks nice. I am going to not this one. I'm going bless pass fast. This for the iPhone 12 only. Let's change this. Bless pass fast. This is for the iPhone 12. Give something wonderful. And the latest section, you don't really have a gift. You don't really have a paragraph there, and I'm just going to delete it. See, okay. For the icon, I usually use hero icons.dev. It is made by Steve Skoger and made by someone called username Zaydek. They are awesome here. I have kind. It is a library of SVG. SVG can be used as an icon too. And I'm going to use a love, a heart, and I just click there and give something wonderful. And there I copy paste that one. It's kind of Yeah, for them, they have their icon, and okay, the icon is too big, so I'm going to change this. I'm going to give an inline style here, style, and let's make the width to 1 rem. How's that? Too small. 3 rem, how about that? Okay, I think that's fine. And I'm going to make the color red. Okay, cool. Okay, I think this really good. This is really good for until now. I want to congratulate you. Okay, shop gifts. Okay, nice. Okay, I think we should change the image here, probably to a more concept image. I think I found it. How about using this? I think we can use this, shall we? Copy image address. Thanks, Ron McClaney. I'm going to change this to this, and there you go. Okay, I think quite good for now. And okay, I think the image is kind of too wide. This is too, I think, if I take a second look, and for that I'm going to make the width here to 25%. So as you can see, 35, I think. Okay, 35 is good. The other two I'm going to add a width here to 35%. Okay, and for that I'm going to add a margin 0 auto. There you go, the image is centered. I think the width should be 100%. Why? The image crops itself, right? And for that I'm going to nest this div. I'm going to nest the div, and I'm going to style the width here to 35%. Okay, okay, I love it. So here I'm going to add the margin here, 0 auto for to center. Okay, the give is typo here, and let's make this one too. I'm going to nest the div also, and style the width to 35% and margin 0 auto. Okay, you might wondering it still crops, and that's actually what I want to find out. Let's change it to not 35% to 30 rem. Let's see if so how about if this width, I'm going to remove this width too, and let's see, 10 rem, I think it's enough. 8 rem. Okay, 25 rem. That is 35 rem. I'm going to remove this width here too. 35 rem. Okay. Okay. Um, okay, I forgot. We have to add a background size to cover. Okay, okay, it fixed that, and let's change this to background size to cover. Okay, okay, I love it, really good. Now on to the second one. We haven't yet defined for the half width section. It's kind of the same like this one, right? The content, as you can see, the same, and for that, let's copy one of this for the purpose of this. Let's see how it turns out. Okay. We haven't decided yet. For the half width section, we're going to half width section. We're going to okay. We're going to use flex here, and for that, I'm going to nest this in a div, and we're going to style this as a width. Sorry, not width, but display flex, and you'll see why. Okay, I think it should be. I mean, we should nest all the section here. Okay. We're going to. Okay, you see, it's kind of taking look. It should be full, right? And for that, I'm going to make half width section a width of 50%. So here it is the 50% of the first width, but I'm not going to use inline style here. And for that, I'm going to style it on top here, width to 50%. Okay, width to 50%, half width section. It's not display flex wrap to wrap. Okay, it's taking shape. It's taking shape. It's taking shape, and later I'm going to. Okay, I forgot to also text align. Text align center. Okay, we're good. I think we're good. And you see that the A tag is kind of a half one, and we want to change the font size for the A tag to a bit more smaller, to probably half run. Okay, too small. 1.5 run. Too big. Probably 0.7. Too small. 1 run. Okay, I think it's good. And the margin is become too spacey for me, and for that I'm going to change the P margin to none. margin to 0. I think not 0. Well, 0.1 rem, point rem, 0.2 I think, 0.2 rem, and the heading is to white. Let's change that to margin to 0. Okay. 0.4. Okay, we're good, we're good. We just have to add a space there, and as usual we're going to add for okay, I think I'm going to use the class here, half width section, margin top 0.51 rem. How's that? Okay, it gives the space. Padding 1 rem too. Okay, it's taking shape here. Probably I'm going to enlarge the H2 tag, font size to 1.5 rem. Okay, not really what I want to achieve, that 2 rem. Okay, I think it's nice. Also, the subheading should have a font weight light. Okay, not really working. 400, how about that? It's okay. I think we're going to remove the P. We're going to just use the subheading. Okay, I'm going to remove this one too. Also this. There you go. There you go. Okay. All seems good to me. And we might want to add a background too, like this one. And for that, you know the drill. For this, I'm going to half width section, and I'm going to background color. Color to F4, F4, F4. Okay, it gives the good margin on top, but wait, I think the padding should have 1 rem. Okay, not really something what I want to achieve too. I think it should be -1 rem. Okay, not that one. Okay, I think here's what I'm going to do. Margin right to -1 rem, margin top -1 rem. Still not working. It's 2 rem, how about that? Not working. I think I'm not going to use padding for this, but I'm going to use margin top 1 rem. Padding -1 rem. It still is not working. I wonder how. I want to add a space here. Okay, why is this? Should be margin left. Okay, there's something here. Somehow Okay, margin left minus minus. Mm, uh, I wonder why though. Um, let's try margin right, margin left. Okay, I think we can. Hmm, I want to nest again the section, and for that I'm going to use this one. Let's see. Okay, it's my idea is I'm going to nest this in a div, and let's see, I'm trying to experiment again. Okay, it doesn't working. Okay, let's add margin here, 002. Margin 002. It's not working. I wonder why. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, let's delete this div. I'm going to um, okay, I think I'm going to use this another method. It is called grid, and no, no. I'm going to create something like this. I want to have this as a grid, and let's see. I'm going to use this. Um, half width container. Okay, I think we need a gap here, 2px I think, and let's see, full width section, full width section. I want to change that and not going to be a flex. It's class half width container, and I want to delete the 50 with 50%. It doesn't really matter now. Okay, I think we've just fixed this, and let's see. I think we don't really need the grid template areas. One rem, how about that? Okay, okay, I think we need to actually add a margin there, add a space, and with that I'm going to use just like this, same, creating one rem. Okay, 5.5 rem. Okay, okay, looks good. Looks good. I like this. And we want to add the padding here, and with that we can just put it something like this in the section. There you go, we've got the space, and I think it is kind of, and I wonder also how to add the footnote here, so I want to search a CSS footnote as I'm also learning about this. Okay, and how do they did that? Oh, you use sub. Okay, let's see. You can use sub there. Where did we go? Okay, here. Sub. And let's see. Okay, we just make one ourselves. And why don't we create the notification here at the top? You want to use the section again, and it will contain a paragraph. I think it's enough. Shop early online to get all your gifts in time for the holidays, and get specialist help, free, no contact delivery, and more. It is going to be an 8-step. Learn more. NGT, yeah. And let's see what we got. Okay. Okay. I think we need to style this. I think we're just going to go with the inline style. A style, font size to 0.5 rem. No. Oh, 1 rem. Yeah, that's all. Color red. Oh, I think the color is white. We're going to add this to color white with background color to red. I think it's too red for me. I don't know why, but color white. Okay. Text align center. No margin. Okay, let's add again margin. I think it's not margin, it's padding. 1 rem. How about that? Okay, I think it's too red. I wonder if we can somehow like this. How about that? Okay, to orange. I think we just go to inspect elements and see RGB 12. Let's go get it. Okay. I think too wide. Let's tighten the padding to 0.7 rem. Okay, I think it's not enough. 0.5 rem. The text font size to 0.5 rem. Too small. 7. How about that? Then we have to also make this to 7 rem too. Okay, I think it's too small. Change again to 9 rem. Okay, I think it's enough. I think we just make ourselves an Apple like websites, and also we kind of want to make something for the navigation, and for that I'm going to use navigation tag. Here I'm going to use UL, LI, and there is a Mac. Okay, I need to format this first. LI, Mac, iPad, iPhone, watch, TV, music, and lastly support. I'm not going to talk about the search icon. It still generally applies. It should be icon here, and we will use SVG for this. Probably Apple. How about that? Okay, no icon. Probably I'm going to use a made up icon, so I'm going to use this one. And don't forget to style it to width 1 rem, and I can imagine if it's going to be a black icon, so I'm going to color it to white. Okay, it's not really. I'm going to set this inline style as a background color to 9, I think. Okay, don't forget to, well, I forgot how to remove the bullet. How to remove bullet in LI. Okay, this style. No. Okay, we have to make this to side by side, right? And to do that, I'm going to use a flex here, display flex. Okay, it's side by side, and I'm going to use a style here, and I think I'm going to add identifier here, navigation style. I'm going to add another style here, navigation li to margin 1 rem. I think it's for margin left, margin right. We're going to modify the size. Okay, I think it should be 0.5 rem. Okay, too big. Okay, I think it's enough. Padding 1 rem. Okay. We got to remove the margin. I wonder whose fault is this. Is it because of the UL tag? I think, how about if we remove this? Okay, we got it. We got it. And we have to make the color a bit more black, and I'm going to use 555 444. Okay, we're almost done. You can stay with me. We're almost done with this. I think it's going to be 0.8 gram. Okay, not that. We have to somehow center this, and that's Okay, not this one. We're going to add margin 002. Hmm. Why? Okay, UL is good. Okay, not working. Okay, I think I'm going to use what they call uh, justify content center. Okay, we fixed it, and I think if it's also it has to be linked to somewhere. So I'm going to this to Mac, and also for others, I iPad, iPhone, I watch TV, music, support. And I think I'm going to have a change of mind. I'm going to add the icon for the uh, search icon. I'm going to use higher icons again here, search, and just copy paste on that. And I'm going to use the same style here. And let's see. Okay, I think there's something wrong here. And I wonder why. Um, um, I don't really know why. Margin 0. Oh yeah, because I turned this into an A tag. So I'm going to navigation LEI font color to white, font size I'm going to okay, padding to 100, no, well, I think I'll just go with this. You see it's started to taking shape. I think it is enough to use 0.5 rand. It's too white. If you, for me it's too white, so I'm going to use margin 0 here for the 8 tag. Okay, and I think we're done here. Okay, um I think we need to kind of modify. So the A color here is not really white, it's kind of white but not white. I'm going to use F4, 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 and in the hover state I will change the color to white and not underline. Text decoration none. Okay, I think I'm going to change this to E. Not really. How about CCC? Okay, I think we're good here. Yeah, last one, last icon is the shopping bag. Am I correct? Yes, shopping bag. Okay, and And yeah, I think we're done. I think it's one, right? I'm not so sure. Okay, I think it's enough. The Apple one is white. I think we're going with 1.5 here. Okay, I think it's enough. Okay, guys, I think I want to wrap this here. We're not making this yet responsive. It's, well, although it's almost responsive, but as you can see, the navigation still needs a rework in the mobile version. In it has to be the original one. They changed the navigation while in the mobile, and we're going to go to that later, not in this video. I think this video is long enough, so I want to thank you. You are with me an a half and an hour, and I think that's good for you. If you want to enhance this website, I encourage you, and please submit your website in the comment below, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. And if you find this video useful, you can share it with your friend. Tell your friends about this video. Tell your friends to about this channel too. I will be very glad. And also, I want to with a humble, I want to ask you, if you would like to support this channel, you can also find the I have a Patreon page. You can also donate in the description below. And I want to thank you, and I hope you learned something today. We can also refactor this code. Indeed, we can make this CSS in a single CSS file here. Though for the simplicity of the video, I prefer to keep it the style in the HTML file directly. And I think that's all. Uh, Thank you, friends, and goodbye.